Yo, what's going on, guys? Surprised I even had a smile on my face when it came to that. Um, the beginning of this live stream. I'm back with a brand new live stream. Obviously, I love going live. I love hearing your thoughts. When the Knicks are playing good, but when the Knicks are playing bad, it sucks to see the negativity, but we have to be real about this team. I know there's so many fans that are saying, like, don't get me wrong, it is just the beginning of the season, but what we're seeing or what we've seen lately has been awful. Like, you could say we haven't executed well, like, at one thing, like, our bench has played well, but we can't continuously count on our bench. Our starters have been so bad, and we have to look at the full picture when it comes to this overall, just like the full picture. We have to look at the full picture when it comes to this team. The Knicks simply have not been playing good basketball. I don't know. Again, it's just the beginning. We're not even 30 games into the season. You can't look at this team and not be scared. Like you cannot. Not saying the season's completely over, but the Knicks are definitely gonna have to make some adjustments. I want to give a shout out to Bad Dog because I kind of got this idea from him. I didn't want to label it like therapy session or anything like that because I didn't want to copy Bad Dog. Great YouTuber, check him out for sure. But this is kind of gonna be like a therapy session type of live stream. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm gonna be talking about the negatives, the few positives so far throughout the season, because I want to hear what's going on with you guys. That's why I didn't make a recap video last night. But I've Buzzer Beater in the chat. I appreciate that, man. How are you doing? Michael says, what up? Terrible loss. Like, huge loss. And see, this is the thing. Obviously, it sucked when we played the Magic and we lost, right? The game I didn't see because I was at work. I saw this L this time, last night. It's okay to sometimes have games that you lose to a bad team. Like, it's the NBA. Like, the craziest things happen. But for you to lose to them again, a team that has won 4 games this season. The Magic have won 4 games this season, and they've won two against us, winning 3 games entering this season. The Magic, they have talented players, but when you take a look at the New York Knicks, you're looking to improve. You're looking to go farther in the playoffs or at least compete and be better in the first round. You cannot be losing to an Orlando Magic team. You cannot. And we never had a crazy big lead, but it's starting to become a theme. Like when we would have a little bit of a lead or it looks like we have some momentum, we lose it. If it's the Pelicans game, if it's the Bulls game, the scare when we almost lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, like we could not be losing to this Orlando Magic team. There's a lot that goes into it. The third quarter, the starters, the turnovers, not being able to rebound the ball. The Knicks are simply not playing good basketball. The rotations, again, the bench has been awesome, but Obi Toppin, I gotta give a round of applause to Obi. Everyone should be giving Obi his flowers. This is someone that I was like really critical of last year. He's improved a lot. His confidence looked better. His shot looked good last night. His touch around the rim. He's like a gazelle the way he runs down the court. He deserves more minutes. And when he was one of the main reasons like we were up in the game last night and the reason we we're playing very well, Tom Thibodeau takes Obi Toppin out of the game and puts Julius Randle in. And Tom Thibodeau, you don't think of him as a coach like him babying players, like he holds guys accountable. But it seems like I know Randle's the whole reason we got here. But you also have to hold everyone accountable, even like your best player, even though Randle has not been playing well, to be completely real, like it seems like he babies Randle. He's like, you're the reason we got here, so I'm gonna play you anyway. Like I don't care how you've been this season. You were good last year. Like it seems like he's just riding off of last year for Julius Randle. Like I don't care what Randle did last year. Like yes, that's great, but it's this season now. We're figuring out a brand new identity this year. We're figuring out how to win this year. Again, that was great what Randle did last year, but it's this season. Randle has not been consistently good this season at all. So when he's playing bad, take him out of the game. In my opinion, that's just selfish by Tom Thibodeau to continuously play Julius Randle when he's not playing well. Keep Obi Toppin out there on the court. Um, what's going on, Dan the Man? My boy MH is in the chat. Bullock over Fournier. Right now, like, I made a video. I was like, I wasn't a huge fan of the contract Fournier got. I thought Fournier was a good player when we got him. I was like, he's okay to have right now. I don't think he's the guy moving forward. At some point, we need to get another star. But I was like, Fournier's a better shot creator. He is a downgrade when it comes to defense, but we need a shot creator to take pressure off of RJ. RJ hasn't been good this season. Like, I'm not going to give any excuses to RJ. Like, yes, he had a nice stretch of games, but RJ's not been playing well this season. Let's be real. His defense looks better, but he looks like the exact same player offensively. Um, but yeah, I would rather have Reggie Bullock right now. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying, like, at all. Like, I'm not even joking with you guys. I would rather have Reggie Bullock. At least it looks like he cares. Like, he tries. He played his ass off for the Knicks, played good defense, knocked down his shots, like, more in the second half of the season than the beginning. You could say we have to get Fournier involved in the action more, but he's been bad defensively. He's been bricking shots since the first couple games. I know it's only the beginning of the season, but Fournier hasn't been creating. Like, that just looks like a bad signing. I know it's early, but right now it does not look good. We lost 3 defensive players, so the defense losing edge isn't news, but the offense so ass. I knew the defense was going to become bad, but I didn't think it was going to become like this bad. See, that's the problem. I wonder if they thought about it. Like, yes, it's going to be a downgrade defensively. Like, we're going to be a downgrade defensively. But did they think, like, the offense is going to be so good or the offense is going to be so much better that we can ignore the deficiencies on defense? The offense isn't good enough to be ignoring the deficiencies on defense. Like, for example, I think this team is a little all over, like, they're over their head right now when it comes to three-point shooting. They think they're a better three-point shooting team than they really are. They're not a good three-point shooting team at all. The amount of threes we shoot, like, we rely on the three so much. I don't understand it. If it's not going in, attack the basket, stop the clock, draw fouls, get to the free throw line. Just I don't understand it. We shoot so many threes. It makes no sense at all. It really makes no sense at all. The Knicks, they got to learn to be a more balanced basketball team. A couple guys I want to give credit to, though, like I just mentioned, Obi Toppin. I think Mitchell Robinson has played extremely well as well on the defense side of the basketball, being a lob threat. I thought he played tremendous last night. But yeah, again, the starters, we knew what we were getting with Kemba. He was either going to still look solid or just not look like he has it. There's some games it looks like he has it, some games he doesn't. We know he's awful defensively. We all knew this, though. He's not tall. He's listed as 5'11". At one point, he was listed as 6'1", but he's like 5'11", 6 foot. He draws charges. He tries his best, but we know we're not going to be able to disguise things. He's just simply too short on the defense side of the basketball, and he's not consistent enough offensively. That's the problem. When he's not consistently bringing you offense, he is just useless out there on the court. We know he doesn't have great court vision. Like, he has moments that he takes bad shots coming off the screens. Like, good thing Kemba Walker's on a really cheap deal that we don't have to worry about, like, moving on from a bad contract. But Kemba's definitely been a deficiency in the lineup. I just mentioned Fournier. He hasn't been playing well. And I know RJ Barrett just, he hasn't been playing good. Like, RJ hasn't. I know he started off rough, got it going, then he fell off again. Like, it's starting to become a pattern. He's gonna have stretches, but there's no consistencies. I know he is consistency. Like, I know he's young. Everyone grows at a different rate, but it doesn't look like there's any improvement, like, in his offensive game at all. It really does not. And I was gonna bring up something, but I don't actually. Yeah, I do remember. Let me write it down so I don't forget. When it comes to the future of this team that I'm gonna be getting into. I didn't even mention Randle yet. Like, I didn't even mention him. I'm gonna be getting into. Um, but yeah, RJ, again, you could say he got better defensively, but he's been kind of overrated defensively lately. He hasn't been the best. Like, everyone thinks I hated on RJ. Like, I have an RJ jersey. I love that he wants to be in New York. He grew up a Knicks fan. I'm rooting for that kid. Anyone that wears a Knicks jersey, I'm rooting for you. Elfrid Payton, not a big fan of him at all, but I rooted for him. You know why? Because he's a Knick. I hope he played well. I wasn't rooting for anyone's downfall. But I tell you how it is. I told you guys RJ has to be more versatile of an offensive player. He got to learn to shoot off the dribble. He has not been shooting off the dribble. He cannot or he has, but he has not made them. He needs to get better in that department. He needs to get better. The honeymoon phase is over of, like, he's 19 years old. He has potential. It's only his second year. It's his third year. He has to make a big time leap, and we need him to make that leap. Like, if we want him, he's right now our second or third option, but he's playing like a fourth option, like a fifth option. He's not playing good. You could say he's playing at the level, like, of a bench player. If you're being completely real with yourself, again, it's early in the season, but we need consistency from RJ. We took this dude with the third overall pick to be a big time game changing player, and he has not been that at all. Um, Falcons saying trade. Randle ain't the only we have way more problems than Randle. Randle ain't the only problem. There's a lot. Shintaro, what's going on, man? He says Fournier off the bench. Burks starts. Burks brings more defense and playmaking. I wouldn't mind that. But isn't that pathetic? We gave Fournier over $70 million, like, in the total contract, and we're talking about him coming off the bench. Coming off the bench. This is crazy being a New York fan. This man went off the season opener. Now, like, we don't even want him out there because there's no urgency from this team. This team looks like they don't care. Um, I've liked the way Quickly's played. The Magic are the youngest in the NBA. Ours are on the bench. Yeah, it's pathetic. We should not be losing. Are you saying like the offense is really bland right now? I don't like the way the offense is being run, but I can't blame it all on Tibbs. Tibbs, don't get me wrong, he hasn't been great with rotations, and sometimes he babies Randle. But the starters need to make their shots. Like, we're getting open looks, we're just not knocking them down either. Like the Pacers game, trade Randle for a top. I don't even know if we'll get a top 10 pick. Yeah, too much isolation. I'm gonna be getting to the third quarter struggles. But yeah, let's get into that. We have no superstars, so. Oh wait, let me get into Randle. I didn't even talk about Randle, but yeah, RJ. We expected more. He's been disappointing. You could say he's had a drop off, but again, he's someone that kind of gets hot like at a later part of the season. Julius Randle. All right, so when I made a video on Julius Randle, I was not expecting him to play at a superstar like level, a superstar level again. And I've told my friends like I really like Randle, but is he like a guy that's gonna bring us to the championship? No, we need another guy. Like if you're real about Randle, you didn't expect this type of drop off. But you thought like you didn't think the points were going to go up, but you thought he was going to get smarter. He has not gone smarter as a player. He continues to make the same mistakes, dribbles too long. Notice how the possessions never go well when he's dribbling too long or for very long. When he plays within the flow of the offense, to catch and shoot threes, attacking the basket, using his physicality, he's a good player. When he's locked in defensively, it doesn't look like the same Randle this year. This dude doesn't look like he's on his A game. It doesn't look like he has this locked in mentality, killer mentality. I know he's a human at the end of the day. He just had another child, Jace, of course, but he just doesn't look like he wants it as much. I don't want to say that he got the bag and stopped playing because I thought Randle wasn't that guy or isn't that guy. I don't think that's it, but there's just no level of urgency. He's not shooting the ball as well. There's still moments that he's taking those stupid fadeaway jumpers. He hasn't adjusted to the double teams. And obviously, this team goes as far as Julius Randle and RJ Barrett go. But you could say it's a collective, it's a bunch of things. But Randle, what he struggled with in the playoffs and last year, passing out of double teams, he still cannot process information. The best players quickly, the best players, they know how to process information, make quick decisions, make their teammates around them better. Julius Randle, you could say he's a motivator at times. He picks up his teammates' heads like when they're down. But when it comes to a basketball IQ standpoint, like Randle does not make teammates around him better. Like literally, you see the double team coming, you're like Fournier's wide open, make that quick decision. He holds onto the ball so long. Like I don't understand it, like at all. Why he could like he processes information so slowly. I'm like, well, now he's gonna be able to contest them. You passed it out too late, and it's gonna be another struggle in the playoffs if we go to the playoffs. His still struggles with his handle. Like he shouldn't even have to be for him to be successful, he doesn't even have to be handling the ball. I still don't understand why he crosses half court with the ball. He's had moments that he's nice defensively, but it all comes down to like when he's locked in. But when he posts up, sometimes he fades away. When he has a smaller guard on him, he doesn't utilize his strength. He's starting to play with too much finesse this year, and I don't like that. I liked at the beginning more of his career when he was playing stronger. Don't get me wrong, he's better now than he was in the past, but he was putting up numbers. But I would like to see him go back to those Kentucky days of using that physicality. It just looks like there's too much finesse with the fadeaway jumper. It's just like the turnovers. Like he just plays too much isolation basketball. I can go on about Randle just so long, but he's got to be better as our number one option. He's not someone we're going to go far with as our number one option. But right now, if we like it or not, Julius Randle is the guy. I'm going to continue to support him, but I'm going to call him out when he's not playing well. Like, I don't like to call out our players, but I want to keep it real with you guys. And he is not. But playing a good brand of basketball, he hasn't at all. So now getting into Mitchell Robinson, you could say he's been our only consistent bright spot. You can't look at the numbers when it comes to Mitch. Like, don't get me wrong, it's hard to determine like if this guy's going to be our long-term center because it seems like he gets hurt every game, and there's always that scare. I'm not saying Mitch is like a Joel Embiid, Jokic level. He's not, but you definitely see the impact when it comes to his defensive versatility. I'll get back into Fournier Javon. I mentioned him earlier. Mitchell Robinson, like his defensive versatility is awesome. I was able to block 3-point shots at times. It's not like it was his rookie year, but He's just been a beast, like defending the rim. He looks a lot more disciplined. He's not in foul trouble as much. We know he's a big time lob threat. Obviously, Mitch doesn't shoot the three ball. He's not anything special offensively, but he's just been doing his job. He has been. He's not hurting the team. I like the way Mitch Robinson's played. What's going on, Jay? But yeah, to get into Fournier real quick, because I mentioned him earlier, it just looks like he's not even out there on the court. Sometimes I forget Fournier's a New York Knick, and that's not good for someone we gave like a pretty big contract to this offseason. He hasn't been consistent since those first couple games. He's been a liability defensively. Like I said, he was going to be a better shot creator. He hasn't been. The starters have just been bad. Obviously, the bench has been off the charts. Like, I'm not going to hate on them at all. I thought Obi's played very well. Just, again, he's running the floor like a gazelle, rolling to the basket, his chemistry with Derrick Rose. But that's the thing. If we started Derrick Rose, I don't believe in Kemba in that second unit with Obi. Obi won't be thriving anymore if we put Derrick Rose in the starting lineup. So that's the downside. How is the chemistry going to be in the second unit? Because I think like something you may think is like a small tweak, maybe a huge tweak when it comes to chemistry, because right now it doesn't look like this overall team is on the same page at all. But Obi's been a beast. He's gotten better defensively. He just runs the floor like a gazelle. Yeah, MH. We know he's an athletic freak of nature. He's made some big time plays. He brings so much momentum, especially when we're at home or even on the road. Um, he's just been awesome. I got to give credit to him. He's played extremely hard. Quickly, he started struggling. Like he struggled at the beginning of the season. He's been a lot better. He's helped us a lot. He's a big reason we've won games or been in games recently when seems like we're getting killed or feels like it. Comes in. He's a huge, big time spark plug. He was starting to worry me at the beginning of the season, but he's been better, especially defensively as well. I don't look at him as the point guard of the future, but I like him off the bench. Derrick Rose, what can I say? We all know what Derrick Rose brings. It's crazy that he still has that burst and he's able to get to the basket. Like he's not even like he's obviously not prime Derrick Rose MVP, youngest MVP ever. Derrick Rose with the Chicago Bulls, but he still makes such a big time impact. For him to add a 3-point shot to his arsenal, what he does with the young guys, like Derrick Rose been a beast. Like I got to give credit to the bench. Like Taj Gibson, the deflections, how hard he's played. He's been a great leader. Just everyone on the bench. Alec Burks, I don't know. I might want to see Grimes, but we know Tibbs isn't going to do that. It just the bench has been great, but the starters have just been so bad. Yeah, the starters need to be better. They've been god awful. But I wanted to talk about the future of this team. I'm a person that likes to stay in the present at times, unless I'm having anxiety. Like, oh, I'm scared to do that in the future. I like to stay in the present, but we have to look at the full picture here. What is this team moving forward? Obviously, we want to think positive, but what's going on right now? RJ Barrett has not looked good. Is he looking good enough? I don't know what the plan is, the contract to give him, but is he going to accept, like, are we going to have another year, like, with a rookie that we don't sign someone past their rookie contract? We haven't signed someone past their rookie contract since Charlie Ward. RJ Barrett needs to be better. Like, it looks like the 3-point shot improved last year, but yes, it's cool and all. Like I said, it's cool when he makes the catch and shoot threes. It's really cool to see the development. But if we're being real, he should be making wide open catch and shoot threes. He's a wing or he's a 2 or 3, whatever you want to call him. He's obviously a 3 with the Knicks. They have Fournier playing the 2 now. It's cool that he's knocking down wide open catch and shoot threes. He hasn't been lately, but that's what he should be doing. He's a 3rd overall pick. His finishing has fallen off lately. His defense has been falling off. He has no handle and no shot creation. Like, is RJ someone you can confidently say we can move forward with this guy? I know he's still young, but he's so young. It's his 3rd year, but I know not everyone's gonna have that pop year, their 3rd year, but he hasn't shown any like big time signs of improvement offensively. Like he really hasn't. Do you look at him as a future star? Like be real with yourself. When you watch RJ Barrett play, do you think this guy could be a future star? Do you think he could be a future 2nd or 3rd option? Or are we better off trading him? Do we have any potential star players like on this roster? Like again, it is early. I think Randle will turn it around. I don't think it'll be like last year. But we don't have anyone that I'm like, yeah, we're gonna win moving forward with this guy. Like we could potentially win a championship. Like Mitchell Robinson, he's not a star. We don't need him to be a star though, to be fair, because like You could have a solid 5 in today's NBA, but you need to be awesome at the other positions. Kemba's not a guy moving forward with us. Fournier is not a future star with us. Like, we don't have that. So what are we going to end up doing if this team right now, I hate to say it, but I think this team will be like stuck in mediocrity. Like, this team is not, we don't have the talent still. I think we still lack talent. Like, I'm just saying here, like, obviously the season's not done. The season's not done at all. But I'm scared that we'll be put in that position that we're not good enough. We're going to be like this 2 years and we're going to blow it up. And then from phase one, like, are you guys scared of this lineup? Like, would you make potential trades if this continues? Let me read these comments. Yeah, mate, just early, but scared, man. We need to make a trade, though. I'm saying that right now. People could call me crazy. We need to make a trade. I'm not saying trade RJ. I'm not saying trade any certain guy. We need to make a move. We do. I'm not saying rush the process. I'm not saying give up a lot of draft picks. I'm not saying that. But at some point, we have to. Yes, but look at the defensive rotations. Walker's just as sorry as Fournier because he's allowed dribble penetration. Yeah, I'd even get into the 3-point defense. Like, guarding the 3-point line. Mitch is too aggressive, putting himself out of position. But I don't blame him. Sometimes he has to put himself out of position because they allow dribble penetration like easy. So Mitch has to help so much. Randle kills our entire offense. Offensive fluidity, at least RJ doesn't kill that. I don't think RJ kills it. I'm not going to lie, though. There was moments last night I was like, I'd rather see freaking Obi out there the rest of the game than Randle because there's actually ball movement. Fournier's been a big disappointment, waste of money. Yeah, so far. I don't think Tibbs is on the hot seat. I don't think James Dolan. Think about it. Again, we're fans, so we're going to look at a different perspective from the owner. But James Dolan's going to look at the Knicks just made the playoffs for the first time in like 8 years. No way. I'm going to move on from Tibbs because what Dolan's seeing right now of us like one game over 500, he thinks we're in the finals right now because we've been so bad. Like he'll just accept anything that's solid. Like Dolan doesn't have championship expectations. At least that's my mindset with Dolan. So he's just thinking like, oh, this is just icing right on top of the cake. Like we've been so bad that I'll take one game over 500, and that's the problem. I think some Knicks fans are still high on this team because they've just accepted relevancy. I don't know about you guys. Last year was the year to be relevant. Like, yes, we're back, we're competitive, but after that year, the honeymoon phase is over. It's time to be good. It's time to compete. Take that next step. The honeymoon phase was last year. That's over. That cool whole celebrating. Like, yeah, we could celebrate after wins, but it's time to be legit as a club, you know? RJ can't dribble. I don't understand how he still can't run with the ball. Yeah, he's had that problem since Duke. We're not making trades. Nick Starter's been playing like the Yankees, no energy. What's going on, Pudge? Great support of the channel. I saw you actually were the first one in the chat. It went away though for some reason. But how are you doing, man? Don't worry, Clutch. We'll make trades soon. Just need a point guard and a wing. Will we ever get a point guard? Start Rose. See, I don't even know if that fixes all the problems though. Like, then what if we have to look at the chemistry with Obi. Will Kemba be good with Obi? Will his play style be good with Obi? Nobody forced Thibodeau to start both Kemba and Fournier had to start though. You don't give Leon Rose gave him all that money. You don't have a guy that's getting paid all that money to come off the bench. John says trade Randle to Detroit for Jeremy Grant and their first rounder, then trade Jeremy Grant and Rose for another 2 first-round picks. So you're saying that sounds like we're blowing it up. So you want to blow it up, John? Like, I'm not saying that's a wrong answer or you have a wrong opinion. I'm just asking. Do you want to blow it up now? I did notice that we freaking suck against the zone. Even Burke's gonna break the zone, and he always helps us with that. No one's saying they love Randall, Fournier, and Kemba right now. No one said that. Yeah, so John wants to blow it up. See, I don't blame you. Of course, I want to be competitive. I'm tired of losing. But if we blow it up, like, what makes us as fans think, like, how are we confident to say that the Knicks are gonna build this right? Like, I don't know if I could like take building like blowing this team up again. Like, it's way too early to blow it up. But what makes you think like you're confident that they'll do it right the next time? But I don't blame you. I don't think this is a good enough team to win a championship. Like I said, Fournier, at the time, I thought Fournier was okay. He's not even okay. He's trash right now. I was like, okay, he's a stopgap guy next to RJ. But at some point, we got to get stars. But what were your guys' thoughts on that? Would you trade for Jeremy Grant? I like Jeremy Grant, but I don't know. Exactly, Crom. Like, there's just like, there's no stability within the organization if you do that. You can't just keep blowing it up. Yo, what's going on, Devin? He says trade RJ. Not gonna blame you for saying that right now. The way he's playing. Um, this is an interesting insight. By the way, thank you for being here. He says yes, blow it up, fire Tibbs, and replace him with Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne's a name to look out for when Tibbs is eventually retired or fired. With Kenny Payne and let the youngins develop. I like Kenny Payne, but we don't even know if he's good. Like, we don't even know if he's a good coach. We don't. Like, I want to develop the young guys too, but there's no one like on this roster that I'm saying, oh, that's a future starter, a future star. Grimes, I think he'll be like a solid bench player. Same thing with McBride. But the reality is we still lack, unless you want to develop like an Obi and quickly, unless you guys think those are potential starters. I'll be real. Yeah, he is playing like a boss, Devin. He is. Yo, throw eggs at Devin, yo. I'm not. Because RJ's not playing well. And I'm rooting for him, but he's not playing well. Please, I know Jeremy Grant has a big contract, but he has a max contract? He doesn't have a max contract, does he? Jeremy Grant? Randall doesn't have a max contract. It's almost a max. It's not, though. Trade Randall, Mitch, and Burks for Karl-Anthony Towns. Actually, I really like Mitch, but I like Karl-Anthony Towns way better. Like, if we're not giving up draft picks, I'm not going to lie, I might do that. Like, I might. You're not giving up any, like, future draft capital. Burks is someone that's getting older. He's a nice bench piece. I really like Mitch, but Karl-Anthony Towns is much better. And, like, would you guys do that? Let me know. All right, Karam. Thank you, man. Because I know the Pistons, like, Jeremy Grant wanted that shot to be that big-time number one option for it to be his team. By the way, what's going on, Karam? Oh, and picks? Yeah, I don't want to give up future draft capital like that. Yeah, because then we're going to be stuck in, like, a Fizdale situation, like, and we've seen before, then the Knicks are going to start tanking it again. When has that ever worked for the Knicks, tanking? When has that ever worked? RJ's barely top 5. I don't know if he's better than Keldon Johnson. I haven't seen how he's been playing. I like Garland more, I'm not going to lie. When I'm thinking back to that draft class. Johnny Bryant next up. He's someone to look out for. I love Jeremy Grant. He's going to be a great fit for y'all. I like Jeremy Grant too, but it's just so weird. Because Grant's someone that has the mindset he wants to be a number one option. We can't have these guys. I like Jeremy Grant, but he's not a future number one option. That's why he went to Detroit. He wanted to be that guy. I don't want guys. I'm not disrespecting them. Like, they believe in themselves. We can't be trading for guys or getting guys that think they're number one options, but they're really not. That's just my opinion. We have to get guys we know we're getting. Grant isn't a star, just a good player on a bad team. Cough, Kemba, cough. Could be worse. Yeah, the Nets are in a bad situation. Would you guys let me know in the chat? Would you guys start quickly? He's had 4. It seems like he's had way. Again, RJ is young, but I know he had that nice stretch of games, but we've seen this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm still rooting for RJ, but he hasn't been playing well. If you've been watching the Knicks lately, he's not playing well. But you have to think about expectations, Shintaro. Like, obviously, he's played bad enough lately that he's shooting 40% from the field. He's averaging like 15 points per game, 40% from the field. I'm not a big time stats guy, but he's shooting awful from three, only like 70% from the free throw line. It's like an eye test thing. Like, I don't want to look at the stats if that's what you're doing. No disrespect. Like, I'm an eye test guy, and he's just not been playing well lately. I hope he gets it together, but I don't. Right now, if I'm being real, I don't see future star potential. I may be overreacting, but I don't see that. It's possible, Devin. I hope he proves us wrong, but he has a lot to work on. Hope he proves us wrong, or just plays better, because I'm rooting for him. But yeah, does this team even have a bright future? I don't think so. Devin says RJ isn't a bum for the third pick. He's a bust. Yeah, I agree. Well, so far, it's like Wiggins. Wiggins isn't a bum. He's a good player, but the first overall pick, yeah, he hasn't met expectations, and we need RJ to be better for the situation he's in. We can't afford for him to be okay as a player. We can't afford that. We can't afford for him to be like a solid player. He needs to be good to great. Because Randle isn't good enough to be a number one option, so we need a great player next to Randle. We're playing the Rockets. I wouldn't even be surprised if we lose. I know the Rockets have won one game, but I would not be surprised. Yeah, it always looks complicated, Joshua. And I know like these players need to play better, but in the third quarter, has he not sent a message yet out of a timeout to move the ball? It seems like whenever it's the third quarter, we suck in the third quarter. We never consistently move the ball. It looks like there's no urgency. Like, does he not tell these guys to move the ball? Or do they just not do it? Oh yeah, Randall's not a number one option anywhere. Like he's our number one option right now, but is he like you're gonna be a championship contender with him? No. I feel like the lineup should be Rose. Oh, if we trade for Carlton Towns, IQ, RJ, Obi. Oh wait, Rose, IQ, RJ, Obi. I don't see that much of an upgrade though. I don't think that team would be much better. Cause I'm not high on. Oh, you have quickly at the two. I'm still not a fan of that. Rose, IQ, RJ, Obi, Cat. I don't know. It seemed like last year we always made adjustments and we thrived out of timeouts. Not this year. I want to see quickly get an opportunity again. He still has a lot of work to do. I think we should wait if we're still struggling like later on. Because I don't know if like. Because we have to realize quickly he's been good defensively, but off the bench. Certain guys are just better off the bench. Certain guys just feel more confident off the bench, you know? Is Şengün only playing 5 minutes? Like he's been putting up good stats, so I don't think he's just playing 5 minutes a game. Maybe his last game, but I like the way he's played. Yeah, I think Jalen Green, he has a bright future, but he's very overrated. I think Cade Cunningham's better. Start IQ. IQ's ready to start over Kemba. Kemba's horrible. This is why just think about it right now. Imagine if this was the old Knicks, we would have Kemba like on a huge contract right now. But good thing we're paying him like nothing. Obviously, we want to see players succeed, or we want to see people succeed, get money. But for the level he's playing at, glad he's not. Trade Randall, Fournier, and Kemba to the Clippers. For who? He doesn't hold Randall accountable. That's what I said earlier. I think he babies Randall. I feel like he holds everyone accountable but Randall. Like the way he's yelling at Obi, keep that same energy when yelling at Randall, or at least used to yell at Obi. Yeah, Deuce is in the G League. You went off the first game. He was amazing. I hope he gets some burn at some point. I don't think so though. Tibbs is scared of Randall. I don't think he's scared of anyone. He's just stubborn right now. Well, he's always been. IQ is ready to start over Kemba. I'm sure of it. IQ, way better defender and a better shooter than Kemba. Both aren't the best passers. Yeah, that's the downside. The playmaking, the decision making. But Quickly's younger. Like, even though we want to win this year, at some point we got to look towards the future. I don't know if Quickly. I don't think Quickly's the guy at the point guard position. But I'd like to see him. Like, I'd like to give him a chance. But he still has ways to go when it comes to finishing. Like, I can't trust him in just a floater, man. Like he needs to learn how to attack. Like I was gonna make the comparison to Tyrese Maxey, but he's a much better finisher. Because Maxey doesn't have the best playmaking, but he's just a great scorer. 2021 draft overrated? Was it overrated? Trade for Paul George? I don't think they're giving up Paul George. I don't think they are. Not happening. But I don't think it's overrated. This draft class has actually been amazing. Cade Cunningham's been a beast. Jalen Green showing flashes, or at least, Cade Cunningham, he hasn't been a beast. He's looked solid when he's had some rusty moments. Jalen Green, he's raw. Scotty Barnes looks like a stud. Evan Mobley looks like a stud. Franz Wagner looks awesome. Like there's some nice pieces in this draft. There really is. I need to look at the full list, but a lot of players been good out of this draft. Suggs, he's been on and off. He killed us last game. Yeah. Josh Giddey's shown some moments or some flashes with his, well, not flashes with his core vision, but his scoring. Tibbs would know Randall would throw a fit if he yelled at Randall. Yeah, Randall gets mad easy. He doesn't keep that same energy for Randall. I don't get it. It's probably just because what Randall did last year. But I don't care about last year. It's this year. Is he playing good this year? No. Hold him accountable. IQ deserves a start, especially since Rose is older and a great six man. Yeah, true, but I think he's better. He's gonna get better at finishing. We'll see, man. We'll see if he gets that opportunity. If by the way, I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are amazing. If you haven't already, smash the like button, click that subscribe button. If Jerry Jones is making the Cowboys win right now, James Dolan, we won last year. We're winning right now, like our record wise. But yeah, we've been shit lately. Like Dolan's actually stayed out of the way. I can't blame Dolan. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes though, obviously. And we're not getting Paul George. They're like trying to compete for a championship, and he's been amazing. Quickly and Maxey is the same player. I don't think they're the same player because Maxey's not as good of a shooter as Quickly. At least Quickly hasn't been consistent shooting the ball. They both have a floater, but Maxey has a way better drive game. He's more physical on the offense side of the basketball. But their playmaking's both not great. So I understand the similarities though. I wish we had Marcus Smart or Drew. I love Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday would be perfect. He's stuck with Randall. Who can he sub with? Obi. No, Obi plays better with the second unit, aka the Shock Troops. Joshua says, I feel like if the Knicks were to trade Randall, the team would be a lot better. Yeah, I hate to say it, but the ball movement, the team flows a lot better when Randall's not out there. And it reminds me of his first year with us. How he turns over the ball, he's selfish and all that. And how we wanted him gone. I love how everyone goes back to that Randall video like, oh, you're an idiot. So many people wanted Randall gone. So many people. Clippers lineup, Kemba, Fournier, Kawhi, Randall, Ibaka. Paul George has been playing like at an MVP caliber year. Like he's had an MVP caliber year. He's not gonna be traded. Cade is like a smaller Ben Simmons with a 3, and Jalen Green is like a Beeler Booker. That's his potential Beeler Booker because obviously we see how raw Green is right now. Obviously, Green's a much better athlete than Beeler Booker, but he just has ways to go when it comes to just like knowing when to not just utilize his athleticism. Like he needs to have a deeper bag. He has ways to go defensively. Obviously, needs to get stronger. I like his upside. I like his mindset, how he's a killer. But I'm definitely more of a Cade guy. I like Cade a lot better. I just think of him as more of a winner. Like I'm not saying Green's a selfish player, but I feel like Cade's just an overall team guy. But Scotty Barnes is probably my favorite player out of that draft. I feel like Mobley's a beast too. I feel like he's making the players in the starting lineup a lot worse than they should be because of his play style. Who Tom Thibodeau, the way the offense is running. I just feel like the styles of play just don't mesh at all. Um, like I'm not gonna lie, I was a guy that didn't want Lonzo, but Lonzo actually would have been an amazing fit. I'm not saying he would have been a great fit with Randall, but we need that pass first guy. Like Kemba, his style of play, RJ, like there's no true playmaker. Like who's our assist leader right now? Randall with like 5 assists? Like that's not gonna cut it. What's going on, Andrew? How you doing, man? No, I'm not saying they're Paul George's team. Kawhi Leonard's hurt, obviously. Let's just pray for the best and be patient. Yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Season's not over, but we definitely need to make some changes. We need a true playmaking point guard. Or power forward shouldn't be running our offense, an entire offense like a Giannis. He's a monster, and they got bounced back-to-back years. Once they got Holiday, they win a championship. Very good point. But obviously Giannis is much better than Randall. But yeah, we do need a true pass first point guard. But um, we don't have anyone like the caliber of a Chris Middleton or Giannis on this team, sadly, to say we're one piece away. Like Randall and RJ may not even be the guys. Like RJ's still young, but we're starting to see this is just what Randall is at this point. And it sucks to say that because Randall's like a huge reason we're in this position right now. He's like our most important factor. Like he's one of the main reasons we're amazing at times, but like one of the main reasons we suck also. That's what comes with being the number one option. I agree. Obi needs to get way more minutes. He's only getting like 2 or 3 more minutes than last year. It's unacceptable. Wouldn't be mad at that, Devin. I wish we had. Okay, I think I caught up on the comments. If the Knicks had Luke instead of Fournier, we would be. Oh, obviously, Luke is one of the best players in the game. Fournier is not a star. Fournier is not a star. Um, but yeah, just another thing because obviously I talked about the third quarter, how bad we've been in the third quarter. But I like wrote down the teams like we've blown leads to. Like we blew a lead to the Magic. The game I was at work. The Bulls almost came back and beat us. The Pelicans without Brandon Ingram, Zion, like that was unacceptable. The Sixers when we were up like what was it, 18, 19 points last time. They cut it to 1. I believe we had a double-digit lead against the Hornets. Then it just went away. Like some of those teams aren't slouches. They're actually, yeah, the Bulls and the Hornets are the only like solid teams out of those. Like as long as we win, that's all I care about. But the Knicks have to learn to close out games still. There's a lot of blame to go around Jack, but yes, he's not played well. Yeah, Randall's in his 8th or 7th season. I think he's not going to prove that much. This is who he is at this point. Yeah. I thought he was going to get smarter as a player. I just don't see it happening at this point. Fournier and Randall for Simmons and Seth Curry. I don't want Simmons near this organization. Like, I think that would be a disaster. Um, I like his playmaking and all that. Obviously, the 3-point shot. Like, he just has no killer instinct. He's not going to work in New York, like, with the media and all that. He didn't work in Philly. I'm not saying trading Fournier and Randall's wrong right now, but for that guy, I don't want him. I agree it is too early to talk trades, but this is kind of like a therapy session right now, man. Um, so you want to face Randall in the Eastern playoffs? That's stupid. I've talked about Fournier like a couple times. You can rewind, but yeah, I expected like big things from Fournier. I didn't expect him to be an all-star, but I thought the shot creation was going to be better. This was going to be a more creative offense. but he's been non-existent for since those first couple games. He hasn't shot it well. It just looks like he's not even on the team, or it just seems like he's not even on the team. Like, obviously, it's been a huge downgrade defensively. Fournier just hasn't been good. He hasn't. I talked about him more in depth earlier, I believe. So I believe you could rewind to the beginning, or like maybe like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, we're just chucking up threes. Perfect way to describe it right there, Jag. Devin says Knicks are a team full of talented players with no true player to bring it together and make it mesh. No true playmaker at all, and the one guy that can play make is an older D Rose. Very good point. Yeah, we have talent. I'm not going to say like it's talent that we could potentially win a championship with, but yeah, I agree. There's just no good fit. No good fit with this team. Young players who don't get playing them. Yeah, I agree, Karam. Yeah, I understand we have to hold them accountable and just not throw minutes at them if they don't deserve it, but at some point you got to throw them out there. Randle and Joel were talking that 160 game. I don't know, man. I don't think that means anything. Simmons almost seems like Tibbs' guy, not saying something like he's not a Tibbs guy. He's not mentally tough. Tibbs likes mentally tough players. He's not a Tibbs guy. What's going on, John? How you doing, man? I agree, Luca. Or yes, I think it's just a terrible fit. It's very bad. I know some people want to put Derrick Rose in the starting lineup, but I feel like there's way more problems than that. And I feel like I don't know if you're here when I brought this up earlier. I don't think people realize they think it's a small tweak putting Derrick Rose in the starting lineup, and it's gonna have a big time result like with starting lineup. But the bench, I feel like the bench will be worse. Like Obi, I think is gonna regress without Derrick Rose with them coming off the bench. But yeah, we have no true pass first point guard. We don't. Like what's his name said earlier, like we have talent, but there's just the play styles just don't work. They don't. But what's going on, Luca? How you doing? What do you think's the biggest problem with the Knicks right now? Yo, what's going on, Bray Pan? How you doing, man? Of course I remember you, man. Great support of the channel. And I really appreciate that. I hope school's going well. How are you doing? How's track? RJ, Obi, and Mitch need to start. I don't think Tibbs is doing that though. I'm not gonna lie. I had moments last game, or actually the entire game, that I was like, play Obi the rest of the game. I don't even want to see Randle anymore. I don't. Just awful. IQ needs Burks, Taj, and Noel. I talked about Taj, but Taj has really impressed me this season. You can't look at his numbers, but his impact has been huge when it comes to leadership, getting key deflections, and just he plays his ass off. All right, man, no problem. I hope class goes well. Pay attention in class. I appreciate your support, dude. But yeah, I've gone to a lot of this. I've been live for like 48 minutes. But what else? Talked about the blown leads. The turnovers been bad. We just have been undisciplined, no consistent ball movement in the third quarter. Taking so many threes. We've even been bad on the boards, or at least it feels like it. The Magic game, how many offensive rebounds did Mo Bamba have? I just feel like we give up so many second chance opportunities. No, he's not been good, Barry Pan. He has not. Hopefully, he can turn it around. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. Kawhi will have two All-Stars, Randle and Kemba. We got it. You're trolling, man. Kemba's not an All-Star. We're not trading for Paul George. The Clippers would not trade Paul George for Randle and Kemba Walker. Paul George has been amazing. They're trying to win a championship. He's been lazy this year, Luca. I feel like last year there were so many moments that you could point out, like, damn, did you see the way Randle just sprinted down the court after shooting the free throw, like on a technical to get back on defense? Like, he's just sprinting after every rebound. He's boxing out. He's playing hard. It looks like he wants it. Doesn't look like he wants it. I don't know what's going on right now at home or anything like that. But he looks like he doesn't want it. Like, he has allowed, like, offensive rebounds, man. That's a great point. We're just not boxing out. Here's a starting five. Kemba for now. RJ, Obi, right? You put Obi at the 3. That's interesting. I don't know if I could trust him to guard threes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm all right with that lineup. What's going on, Devastating Buckets? How you doing, man? Is Randle on pace? Oh, he's not going to be an all-star. The way he's playing right now, he's not going to be an all-star break man. Not at all. I hope the Knicks don't think that because Kemba's knees are just done. Kemba won't get that burst back. When you get older, you're not going to get that burst back. But Derrick Rose, he didn't get that burst back. But how does Derrick Rose have all these injuries, but he still has that burst? I don't understand that. Derrick Rose is just special, man. You want McBride and Grimes? We'll see. McBride just balled out in the G League. Yeah, he's such a liability, man. But I feel like we have no fit. Like, even if we start D Rose, is he that? Like, obviously D Rose is an upgrade. Like, we're sacrificing Obi then, because Obi's play I think is gonna be worse with Kemba coming off the bench. Like, I just don't even think that's gonna fix everything. We have way more problems. Like, this team's not on the same page. Is that gonna better us consistently defensively? Because I didn't watch the game because I was at work, but didn't Derrick Rose start in that Cavs game? That didn't go great. Like, obviously Rose is better than Kemba, but we have far more issues than just that. But that's a start. Randle was playing for that contract, so he was playing 100% energy. I hope he wasn't just playing for that contract. And effort. Now that he got the bag, he's playing at 80% effort and energy. Sometimes it looks like 50. Yeah, it doesn't look like he wants it this year. It doesn't. I thought Randle was gonna be that guy that just always played at like 110% or 100% like all the time. But we haven't gotten that this season. Again, he is a human. We don't know what's going on. Like, he might be stressed out because of his child, Chase. His wife had. So I don't know. He's a human being at the end of the day, but he's not played good basketball. That's possible, Joshua. All right, so Falcon troll. Falcon's the ultimate troll. Randle is vintage Mellow. Tibbs thinks that. The way Tibbs uses Randle, he thinks that. Put him at small forward, and Obi will be a Mark Stoudemire power forward. Problem solved. All right, so then you're pretty much saying no defense at all. um. Yep, we won't know until we see it. So, never know. But Tibbs needs such a long or such a big sample size to make adjustments. It's kind of frustrating. Yeah, that's true. We can't keep on relying on the bench though. The bench has been crazy consistent and amazing. Obviously, we didn't have the Derrick Rose last night that we had like those games prior. Even though he did hit some big shots, hit that big time three. But that's the thing, we can't keep on counting on them. Like, these starters got to be better. But yeah, at this point, I'm starting Rose. Yeah, I wanted him gone, Devin. I wanted to trade Randle. I didn't hate him though. Yeah, that is a strong word. But yeah, this team looks like a mess. But we've been 4-6 in our last 10 games. Again, let me repeat this because I said it at the beginning of the stream. The Magic had 3 wins entering the game against the Knicks. 3. One was against us. They had a win against us. Now they have 4 wins. Half of their freaking wins are against us. 2 wins against the New York Knicks, the team that's supposed to be very improved. 2 wins. Half of their wins are against us. Randle isn't Carmelo Anthony. Like, that's just ridiculous. What's going on, Ma here? Great support of the channel. Randle is not a versatile or dynamic player. Put him at any other playoff team. He is at best. He'll be the 3rd or 4th option. Hell, maybe not even start. He has to play on the offense and not force shots. I agree. When he plays within the flow of the offense, I like the way he plays. Yeah, man, we were very high. We're on cloud 9. We thought we were winning the championship. No, I'm kidding. I didn't think we were going that far. Some Knicks fans did. You know what I blame? I'm joking, but I blame Bing Bong. I'm probably the only Knicks fan that doesn't like the Bing Bong crap. I think it's so stupid. Like, what's it have to do with the Knicks? Bing Bong. I know a fan said it. But what's that have to do with the Knicks? Like, it makes no sense. Bing bong? What does that mean? But at least you could, like, Lakers fans can at least say, though, they know Carmelo Anthony, or not know Carmelo Anthony. They know LeBron James. Don't get me wrong, the Lakers still should have freaking beat the Thunder. It's hilarious how the Lakers blew that lead against you guys twice. But we have, like, mostly our fully healthy team. A fully healthy team. And sometimes I forget we have Nerlens Noel because he's been hurt so long. I didn't even think of it that way, devastating buckets. Still think it's stupid. Tell me a player in the NBA who's like, but what's that have to do? Like, I know obviously it has to do in New York. Now it always gets used against us when we lose. Oh yeah, they tweet that out. Yeah, I know that. I've seen the video, but I didn't even know that. I thought he was just saying Bing Bong. I was like, why are we like when we made the threes against Toronto? They were playing that. Do they still? Because I don't have MSG Network or I have to watch the games with the volume off. Do they still do the Bing Bong thing when we make a three? I hope not. I guess it's pretty cool that I think about it that way. I still don't think it's that cool, honestly. It's funny. The video's funny, but like for the Knicks, like, are you kidding me? To be honest, I'd rather have Carmelo right now than Randle. Carmelo's been struggling lately. They still do that? By the way, I hope you had fun at the game. The game we won. Um, Hush. I'll be honest. I'll try to be like as real as possible. We'll probably just have to wait the whole season. We'll have to see how the whole season plays out. But if he plays like this till All Star break, then that's concerning. I don't know what Falcon does. Falcon's like such a troll. I appreciate you being here though. I do too, man, but we're used to it. But yeah, it sucks. But it definitely sucks. Awful, man. I barely talked about the 3-point defense, but yeah, that's been bad. Don't get me wrong, like some of the reason though, like one of the reasons that we are late on closeouts is because we have to help Kemba on certain assignments and we just don't close out hard enough. We don't. But there's sometimes that I'm like, we leave assignments and I don't understand it. Yeah, they have 4 wins and half their wins are against us. Yeah, at this point, I would have Kemba as a 6 man. Yeah, Derrick Rose has to stop being so nice because I remember Derrick Rose was like, "This is his job." Like he didn't even want to compete with him for the starting gig because he's pretty much saying at this point in my career, I'm not a starter anymore. Well, Kemba's not either. So one of you guys, like Derrick Rose, is gonna have to start. Since the first game, I saw so many weaknesses that troubled me. They should have lost against Boston. I'm not gonna say that game. Chicago, yeah, we should have. Um, they were very lucky to win both those games. The Pelicans game too. We had freaking what was it, a 10-point lead with 2 minutes? Freaking they cut it to one. Like, are you kidding? Sixers game too. When we were up, what was it? We're up double digits. I was live streaming that game. They cut it to one, I think. Or no, I wasn't live streaming that game. I think I was watching that game, but they cut it to one. Um, yeah, we're just a bad team right now. D Rose always says, whatever the team needs, he'll do. So if all fans want him to start, he will do that. Yeah. Trade Barrett, Fournier, Rose, Noel, and picks for Lillard. The money works. But we'll just have to hope what free agent's out there? Like, what free agent is there going to be, though? Because then it's just we're in a worse situation. We have Lillard, no one there to help him. Like, no, who the hell's going to. Did you say Randall in there? Because Lillard ain't win a championship. We give up our future and we're not good enough to win a championship. I understand where you're coming from, Falcon, with the Julius Randle, the jab step, the isolation on the Knicks, but he's not Carmelo Anthony, man. Carmelo Anthony's way better than Randle was. Peel and Bridges. Which Bridges? Mikal? No, Mikal just got paid. Miles Bridges is going to get the bag from the Hornets, though. He's going to give him a bag. And Beal's happy. The Wizards are freaking number one in the East. No, I'm not saying right now Randall's better than Melo. I'm talking about like when Melo was a Knick, like prime Melo way better than Randall. Yeah, Pacers are weird. They have talent but don't live up to it. I don't want Simmons. I'm not disagreeing with you trading Randall. I do not want Ben Simmons on this team at all. I don't. Jaylen Brown, I don't think they're trading Jaylen. Unless they think the fit. See, this is the thing, though. I'd rather have Jaylen Brown than Jason Tatum. Call me crazy. I think Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum. I think the Celtics should look into trading Tatum before you look into trading Brown. That's just me, though. I'm a bigger fan of him. Call me crazy. Devastating buckets. Again, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. It's like Randall's afraid to take. He's hesitant. It seems just like the playoffs, right? Like he was afraid to take those wide open shots. It's like Randall's afraid to take catch and shoots. Yup. He always takes unnecessary ash dribbles and jab steps until he gets a worse shot than he originally had when he caught them. Yeah, he doesn't settle for quality looks. Like exactly wide open. He hesitates. Does a pump fake. Dribbles. He's like, let me post up, and I'm just gonna jack up a fadeaway. It makes no sense. I don't know if that gets him into a rhythm, or he's like has no confidence to shoot them wide open. So he's like, no one expects me to make this contested shot, so I'm gonna shoot it. He just doesn't have a high IQ. And I said his stats were gonna drop, but he was gonna get smarter as a player. He is not. Oh, that's cool, buzzer beater. I'm never leaving the Knicks. What is Falcon talking about? This dude, I don't even know what he talks about sometimes. Like I see him in nothing but Knicks streams. Like sometimes he just talks like I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Yeah, you could say he was a cancer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big Carmelo fan. Carmelo's not my favorite player, but so far, like he was a better Knick than Randall. Randall had a great year last year. Don't get me wrong. The way Randall played defensively, I take over Carmelo Anthony. But I'm not a big Carmelo guy. But Carmelo's better than Randall. And Randall was a high volume scorer too. Randall needs a lot of shots. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I know Carmelo plays no defense. Um, like I understand how the stories came out. Chauncey Billups, like he would score 30 in a loss and keep his head high, but then his head would be low if he had 20 in a win. Yeah, yeah, they always get injured. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Like, why are we talking about Carmelo? This man keeps on asking who plays like Carmelo. No one's Carmelo Anthony. No one. Actually, I'll say someone, and I actually think he's overrated. Like, I think some people really overrated. I like Tatum, but I think Tatum's pretty overrated. You guys may think I'm crazy, but I think Tatum's kind of overrated. And I like Tatum. I think Brown's better. Like, I'd rather have Brown on the Knicks than Jason Tatum. I know Tatum might turn up, but like, I don't know. I think he's pretty overrated. Like, he kind of reminds me of Carmelo the way he plays. With the isolation and all that. But he's a deep bag of moves. I'm not saying he's bad. When I say someone's overrated, doesn't mean they're bad. I just wanted to clarify that. Because some people think, like, when they hear overrated, like, oh, you think he's bad? Like, no. Yeah, man. He doesn't sense a double team ever. It's like me as a Giants fan seeing Daniel Jones in the pocket, not feeling the pressure. Like, step up, boy. I agree, man, but he's not gonna survive in New York, man. He won't. He won't. He doesn't have that it factor too. Like, he's not a dog. I like Tobias Harris. Randle's too passive. He's been told to defer to the other players. Did you see that pass to RJ in the fourth quarter? I don't remember at the top of my head right now. I used to be like really high on Tatum, but he's starting to become overrated. Like, I've been waiting for that huge, like, it seems like he's had good seasons, but that overall consistency hasn't been there for me, you know? Carmelo shouldn't even be allowed to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did to the Knicks. Carmelo's pretty selfish. I respect Carmelo, like, how talented he was as a player. Certain things I didn't agree with him, though. But he's accepted it now. Tobias Harris sort of plays like Carmelo. Why are we just talking about Carmelo now? That's all I see. Carmelo's a disgrace in New York Knicks basketball. So Randall doesn't think. We're just talking about Carmelo now. I hate Melo when he's. Oh my gosh! Every comment's Carmelo, Carmelo, Carmelo. Bro, no one plays like Melo. Oh my gosh. We're just talking about Carmelo now. Sorry, Isaiah, I do not have the link right now. This is more of like a therapy, but if you have any questions, I'm gonna answer them. Or Isaiah, remind me if you have me on Twitter or comment on this and remind me. We'll go live sometime, and you'll be on. All right. Comment that, and sometime you'll be on. All right, and we'll be able to talk. Because I don't have the link right now. I'm sorry. Everyone in the chat that's a real basketball fan knows that Carmelo Anthony is one of the most overrated basketball players ever. What are your thoughts on this? We're just talking. Carmelo just got brought up. I think it's Falcon that's just talking about Carmelo like crazy. Don't get me wrong. We're talking about these Knicks, Isaiah, but now we're talking about Carmelo. I wanted Randle at small forward. Oh my gosh, what are these comments, bro? Because he was vintage Melo. He's young. Obi's like a stat at power forward. Star Randle. Power forward and Obi at power forward. I'm not talking about Carmelo anymore. But yeah, Isaiah, if you're still in here, remind me on Twitter or comment. Like, next time I go live, I'm definitely gonna have you on, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. Yeah, remember when Melo was mad at the Linsanity days? Yeah, man. I remember all that. I love Jeremy Lin, but we all knew he had no left hand. Isaiah says, "Okay, bet, bro, I got you. Say less, cause this game sucked, and we need to start IQ like yesterday." Yeah, we do. We do. Why IQ over D Rose? Is it because you like D Rose just coming off the bench? Because I remember D Rose was like, "Oh, this is Kemba's team. He's gonna start." Like, D Rose isn't gonna want to start. But Tibbs takes so long to make changes. Like, I'm so scared, bro. But yeah, you could like rewind to the beginning. I talked about the overall Knicks and just all the deficiencies of the team. Taj Gibson's someone I want to give credit to. Obi, Quickly's playing better. I like the way Mitch has played, but just these starters have freaking sucked. They're so bad. And it's just, I like RJ. RJ's my guy. I have a jersey of RJ. Like, I love that he wants to be in New York. I love that he grew up a Knicks fan, but he has to be better. We can't afford for him just to be an okay player. We took him third overall. He needs to be a game changer, and he's not been that. He looks like his rookie year offensively right now. He's shooting bad. Again, I know it's only the beginning. He's a guy that catches on later. But we can't have that happen. Like, we need consistent guys. We need consistent players, and we don't have that. Especially in the starting five. Like, sometimes I forget Fournier's on the Knicks. Like, I forget he's on the Knicks sometimes. Yeah, thank God Kemba doesn't have a big contract. You don't think it's a good fit? Yeah, Tibbs doesn't really have a great mind offensively. What do you think the Knicks are missing? Oh my gosh, how do I even answer this? Comparing back from last year, we need a. I don't even know if we need one star. We might need 2 stars. Last year, I said we need another star next to Randle. The way Randle's playing, oh my gosh. We definitely need more talent. It's crazy to think about that because you could say this is an upgrade compared to last year when it comes to talent. Um, but we're missing a pass first point guard. I wasn't high on getting Lonzo, but Lonzo might have been the answer. But I don't even know how the fit would have been with Randle. I think he's in a great situation right now. We still need a point guard. We need a guy that can pass first, but also put pressure on the defense. We need star, man. Like, the bench is good. We need a lot, dude. We do. Like, Tibbs is our coach right now, but it just seems like he babies Randle. There's no consistent ball movement. The third quarter just we suck in third quarters. We can't close out games. There's just so many problems with this team. Like, we need a rein in the threes. I can't answer. There's no simple way to answer that. Like, there really is no. Like, what are they missing? They're missing a lot to take the next step. Like, this isn't a good enough team right now to like take the next step with. Like, I don't see like going to a second round or Eastern Conference Finals with this team. I don't. I'm scared with this team. It's like we're gonna be like in mediocrity, and then like we're gonna be in mediocrity a couple more years, and then we're gonna blow it up. Because it comes down to RJ reaching like all-star level. If RJ doesn't reach all-star level, this team's not going anywhere. We're just gonna be stuck in the first round because we need pop. We need an all-star. Um, IQ as a starter is just asking. Yeah, RJ needs to be better, man. Some Knicks fans, like, I used to defend RJ. I'm not defending him anymore, man. Like, he needs to be better. It's his third year. It's his third year. I'm not defending RJ anymore. Like, he has to be better. Like, he has to be. Like, he had the nice stretch of games, but now he has another stretch of, like, bad games. Like, at the beginning of the season, he's shooting 40%. He's struggling finishing at the rim again. He's shooting horrible from three. His playmaking's not even there. The defense is falling off. Like, I know it's just the beginning, but he has to be better. He really does. He has to be better, man. We took this dude third. Yo, what's going on, Mama said? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? Mama said's awesome. He said, "Yo, what's up, Clutch? Nothing good's up with this Knicks team. RJ Barrett's been a complete letdown to the entire city of New York basketball once the young Prince of New York turns into a bust." See, I've had moments that I'm like, "What are you doing, RJ? Like, you're frustrating me." But last game was like the official game, like real game. Like, I'm losing patience with this kid. Like, I know he's still young, but I'm losing patience with him, man, because I don't see any leap. Like, I don't see any of that. Excuse me. So what is the future of this team if RJ doesn't take that leap? If Randle continues to struggle, I don't see a future with this team. Like, we need another star. We'll see what happens, Falcon. Dude, I love the energy the second unit plays with Jack City. I wish the bench. I wish the starters played with the energy the bench did. Like the bench plays with so much heart. It sucks. We need to put the bench in to energize the starters. Yeah, don't get me wrong. RJ's not the whole problem. I think the offense is terrible. I think the fit is terrible. But there's moments that I'm like, you're missing wide open shots. Like you need to finish better at the rim too. And his handle's terrible. Yeah, we started off the season shooting it well from three, but lately we've been awful, taking way too many threes and not hitting it at a high clip at all. Um, but we don't even have the personnel to like push the pace. We don't like we have Randall who plays slow. RJ likes to play fast. Kemba plays slow, I guess. Mitch, you can get out and run with him. Like there's just like Fournier's not crazy athletic. Like the personnel isn't there. Like the Bulls leave a like the way the Bulls team is structured is perfect. Like perfect. Lonzo likes to get out and run. Zach LaVine, freak of nature, likes to get out and run. DeMar DeRozan gets out and runs. Like they just have such a well put together team. Oh, I've loved Brogdon too. I think we need them to continue to lose. Yeah, we need him to take the leap, Isaiah. Because like, think about it. If we don't, we're gonna be like the team we just played. If we don't take that leap, and I'm not talking about the roster they had. Like, they have right now with Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, like Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba. I'm not talking about that roster. I'm talking about when they had Aaron Gordon, they had Fournier. We have right now. When they had those guys, Vucevic, we're gonna be an okay team. Because Aaron Gordon he's not good. He's solid. Like Vucevic, like he's good, but like what I mean by that is we're gonna be stuck in mediocrity if we don't like get a star or one of these guys like RJ doesn't develop into a star. We're gonna be stuck in the middle of nowhere, not good enough to compete. We're gonna have like no direction. Like, don't get me wrong, I like when we compete, but if you're just going and losing in the first round again and again, second round loss, like you're gonna blow it up. Like he needs to take that huge leap. Start Rose, IQ, RJ, Obi, and Randall since centers are hurt. Anyways, yeah, Noel. Call me crazy. Who would you rather like to see out there? Nerlens Noel or Taj Gibson? Call me crazy, but I like Taj Gibson. I know Taj Gibson's older, but I actually like Taj Gibson more out there. I know he's more undersized and he's only played the center position the last 3 years because he played power forward with Chicago. But I don't know. I just like his hands better offensively. He at least brings somewhat of a threat with that spin move at times. Like at times, he doesn't do it a lot. Nerlens Noel's just such a liability, like offensively. I know Nerlens Noel's a great shot blocker, but this is my thing. Just because Nerlens Noel is a good shot blocker, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a great defender. I think people get that mixed up. Don't get me wrong, I thought he did well on Giannis, like with the Bucks, but like Taj Gibson getting those deflections, like he just has such a big impact. Yeah, Taj doesn't put up the big time numbers, but he's so impactful. Tibbs' refusal to play young guys decent minutes is killing us. We don't need any trades now. Just let Deuce and Grimes. Like they're not gonna, but like it's not gonna change if like we put McBride and Grimes out there. As much as I like Grimes, how much will he change the team if we play him? Same thing with McBride. Like these guys are rookies at the end of the day. I might be wrong. That's just, but don't get me wrong. I want to see them. Mahir says Caruso, Levine, Vooch, DeMar, Lonzo, Kobe White, Derek Jones. The Bulls are best team in the East. Let's just admit that they had a way better free agency than us and our starters. And what do you know? When the Knicks start to become good, they don't look good right now. But when the Knicks are competitive and the Bulls are competitive, the Bulls are better than us again. Who would have thought the Bulls are better than us again? Of course they are. I want to see Obi get more burn too, John, and quickly, obviously. Um, Excuse me. Isaiah says he needs to play more with the second unit to run and work. Yeah, I agree with that. He fits much better in the second unit, but let me finish. He needs to play more with the second unit to run and work the inside of the ball movement. That's when he'll be great. That's his game. We have no ball movement in the first unit. That's a very good point. We could be hard on RJ for missing shots, but that's not his game. What he plays with Randle slows down the offense. We can't even say Fournier's taking pressure off of RJ because Fournier's been trash. Like Kemba's ball dominant. Like I agree. That's a terrible fit. Um, and to maximize RJ's potential, we need him to get out and run exactly, work the inside. There's just like I mentioned, like I've said this, I feel like I've said it a million times. Only if the starters played with the energy the bench unit did. The bench, I don't want to say the starters don't care, but it looks like they do not give a shit. It looks like there's no chemistry. It looks like they do not care. There's no urgency. The bench always plays their ass off. I've never seen like quickly, yes, he struggles, or he struggled at the beginning, but I've never seen him just like walk up and down the court. Obi always plays his ass off. Derrick Rose always plays his ass off. Like they always play hard. Taj Gibson doesn't take a play off. He's constantly communicating, hustling, boxing out, like being physical. Um, Tibbs needs to send Randle back to posting on the low left block, drawing the defense and kicking out. If Randle can make those reads in time, Taj, Obi, RJ, IQ. Like I'm see, this is how bad Randle is at timing, making quick decisions. That I think I'm watching Daniel Jones at quarterback. Daniel Jones, don't get me wrong, he's been okay this season, solid. But if you're a Giants fan, you know this. There's times Daniel Jones holds on to the ball so long, pressure coming, he doesn't feel the pressure. Julius Randle and Daniel Jones have the same problem. They don't process information quickly. They don't feel like obviously it's different. Like a double team coming after Randle, Jones doesn't feel the pass rusher coming. They don't know when to get rid of the freaking ball and make the quick decision when they're open. Like it shouldn't be that complicated for Randle. The best players like a Jokic when they're double teamed, a LeBron. Like those players know how to make those quick decisions and make those easy, decisive reads. Randle cannot. Oh, Mac Jones has been he's played very well. Um Cooking with Chef Zay, my boy Isaiah says. Obi needs more minutes. It's a crime. Like you said, these guys play hard and the first unit acts like they can turn it on anytime they want. Yeah, man. Obi, he's improved so much. Like you don't any true Knicks fan watching these games, they see Obi's improvement. You don't look at the points, you don't look at the stats. He's improved so much. You see him out there on the court. He's looked so much more confident. And I feel bad for the kid. He's improved so much and he's only getting 2 more minutes. I love the way Obi's played. I really do. He's starting to become one of my favorite Knicks because he's such a likable person. If you hear his interviews and just his personality. And this is someone I was really tough on last year. I think we all were. Like, he didn't look like an NBA player at one point, but it's hard when you're coming into a situation. Randall blossoms out of nowhere, and you barely get any minutes as the um, 8th overall pick. Are you a Patriots fan, Devin? Yeah, they haven't complicated the offense for him. He's making just easy reads, making smart decisions, not throwing it deep consistently. I love this team losing to a bad team. Yep. They have 4 wins. They won 2 against us. Yeah, Randall doesn't really play well with any unit. He either has it or he doesn't. He can't rely on his teammates. He only relies on himself. Taj, Obi, RJ, IQ, Rose should be closing games right now. What's your closing 5? I actually do like that. I do like Taj closing. Obi, RJ, IQ, Rose. I'd still put Burks out there as a closer. Even though like Burks sometimes struggles, I really like Burks down the stretch. Like I really do. So the whole bench. Like what's been closing lately? Just the whole freaking bench. No one from the starters. Tibbs has to be better with his rotations. Like when Obi was thriving and then freaking put Randle in made no sense. Like he makes questionable decisions. He's very stubborn. Um, but also there's times that it's good ball movement. We're just not making our shots. But someone that doesn't get blame. Again, it is early in the season. We could turn this around. Who knows? Even though it looks ugly right now. Someone who's not getting talked about for blame, someone who constructed this team, or two of these guys that constructed the team. Leon Rose. Did Leon Rose think about the fit when acquiring a Kemba Walker, acquiring an Evan Fournier? Did he think, like, oh yeah, the defense isn't going to be as good? Like, yeah, that's okay. But was he thinking, like, oh, Fournier and Kemba, they're such huge upgrades that we can ignore the defense? Like, the offense is going to be so good that we don't even have to worry about the deficiencies of the defense. Leon Rose deserves some, like, kind of hate as well. Like, I think he deserves, like, as much energy. The thing that made Tibbs win Coach of the Year is his energy and how he made the team play hard. If it weren't for the way he makes players play hard, he would be one. Oh, exactly. When he's winning, he looks like a genius. When he's losing, he looks like a moron. Like, look back in Minnesota. Look like a moron when they were losing. Because he's so tough on these guys. I don't even know either, John. Obi's touch has been a lot better around the basket. Yeah, he's very bland offensively. Yeah, Randall complains a lot. He does complain a lot. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch that, Devin. By the way, I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. You guys are. Cole Anthony, that fit with Randall, yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked. Both, I like Cole Anthony, but he takes some bad shots. He's a dog, don't get me wrong, but he takes some seriously bad shots. Like, we saw what he looks like when he's off against us. Crazy how Rose just came in last season like it was the YMCA coach put him. He's just such a beast. Rose, I love Rose. I do. Rose is probably my favorite Knick. Where is Gallon? Oh, yeah, Gallinari's on the Hawks. Gallinari back as a Knick, that would be pretty cool. Defense would be even worse. Great. We have the fix for Fournier and Kemba, McBride, and Grimes. So you're really high on them. Like, I like them. I don't know if they could be starters. I love McBride, though. I don't know if you've seen my mixed video of him defending Cade Cunningham. But yeah, they're good 3-and-D guys. If he tied Randall's left-handed, it'd be Anthony Bennett. That's the comment of the night. But I love McBride's intensity on defense. He plays so hard, too. But yeah, McBride's, what is he, 6'1", 6'2", with like a 6'8" wingspan? He has a pretty long wingspan for someone that's short. Well, you're optimistic, man. I'm not going to tell you how to root for your team at all. Randall has to be better, in my opinion. But I understand that. Randall has a great work ethic. He wants to be great. That's always a good sign. But we have to see it. But what's going on, man? I hate how we're playing with no heart. This team looks like the opposite of last year. It looks like there's barely any chemistry. Um, this team doesn't look like they're playing with as much heart. Yo, what's going on, Anthony? How you doing, man? Wait, who wouldn't be that bad? Oh, Anthony Bennett. Yo, Anthony, I don't know if you saw this comment, but someone dropped this. If you tied Randall's left hand, he'd be Anthony Bennett. Now that might be RJ though. Or actually, RJ's right-handed. I know. I know he writes with his right hand, but he's gotten better finishing with his right. But when it comes to his handle, just let's be real. All right, Knicks fans, put your Knicks fandom aside, or maybe you could still have your Knicks cap on and all that. Does RJ Barrett have the worst handle you've ever seen? Like, does RJ Barrett have like the worst handle you've ever seen? Like, it is so bad. Like, I can't stand watching him dribble a basketball. He has the handle of like a kindergartner. It's Theo Penson. Anthony Bennett's probably the biggest bust ever. Up there with Michael Olowokandi, Kwame Brown. Darko Milicic. Randall's handle's worse. Actually, yeah, Randall has a pretty bad handle. But he's been like that since high school. Go back, watch RJ's highlights in high school. He even looked stiff then. I hate that Zion's gonna be a boss. He needs to care about his weight, man. I'm not like body shaming him or anything like that, or fat shaming him, but he needs to get into shape. Obviously, I'm over exaggerating, but I'm saying he does not have a good handle. Payne laughing at our Payne while he's winning on a championship team. Crazy. Yo, you know who went off last night? Or didn't go off, but he played well. So, you guys know I hopped off the Frank wagon. I was like, he's not going to be anything for the Knicks. But actually, let's give credit to Frank. Frank found a role in Dallas. Frank's getting some time in Dallas. He had 13 last night. He played well. I watched some of the game. Looks like Frank found a role. Maybe he needed a smaller market to change the scenery. Like, I'm not even trolling. Like, I'm happy for Frank. We know he's never gonna put up big time numbers, but he found a role. Like, I'm happy for him. Like, obviously, I'm not one of these guys that thought Frank was gonna be next Gary Payne or some shit, but I'm happy for him. Yeah, of course, Isaiah, but I'm talking about like for the position he plays, you have to have a good you have to have a good handle for the position he plays, and it's just not good. Yeah, I agree. What's going on? How you doing, man? Is this a coach of the year curse? A coach wins an award and the next season they suck. Are we missing Woodson? Yo, Woodson, I think Indiana, what are they, 3-0 or 4-0? Congratulations to Woodson. Woodson, I love Woodson. Probably my favorite Knicks coach that I've seen. Because obviously I'm very young. Um, do you feel like Barrett could fix the handle, or is that something he couldn't do? I feel like he can fix it, but has it gotten better since his rookie? He just has such a weird way he plays. He's so stiff and weird. I don't know. People want to make the. I feel like people only make the comparison to Wiggins because they're Canadian. If you watch Andrew Wiggins and RJ, they play completely different. Yeah, I'm happy for Frank. Not gonna lie, like, seems like a cool dude, humble dude. I wish it was with us. Like, I gave him a lot of slander. Not gonna lie, like I do every player, but looks like he found a role. All right, this is the most. Reggie says this. I think RJ needs like 5 to 6 years. He'll be okay. 5 to 6 years? Are you kidding? How old is he right now? 22? We have to wait till he's 28 years old to be good at basketball. Who is the worst Nick you've ever seen? Travis Ware is pretty bad. I think he played one game with us. Lou Amundsen. Oh my gosh, Lou Amundsen sucked. Lou Amundsen was terrible. Benu Udra, whatever his name was. Obviously we've had a lot of bad players. Yeah, Lou Amundsen was bad, Drew. Ron Baker. Bargnani was bad, but I feel like the people saying he's bad, like he don't get me wrong, he wasn't good. But a big reason people say that is because he was the first overall pick. Like people forget he averaged 20 in Toronto. But I'm thinking of guys that were just like straight up terrible. Trying to think Quincy Acey. He was pretty bad. He brought energy, but gosh, remember when he got into a fight on Christmas Day? Yeah, I agree, man. Ron Baker was a great defender. He did play hard. I have a trade. You want this horse? Joakim Noah like barely played though, but yeah, he was bad. That resulted in don't tell me, Jakob Podol. So not much. But the Carmelo Anthony trade, I know that pick resulted in Jamal Murray. Of course, a point guard. Who would have thought? I'm too young to see that, but yeah, Scott Brooks, I know he was a Knick. So was Billy Donovan when I'm thinking of coaches. But yeah, gosh, that really bad Knicks team with like Langston Galloway, Andre Bargnani, Quincy Acey, and all that. Jeez. Such a bad team. Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Shane Larkin. Jose Calderon. Oh, damn Knicks. Samuel Dallenberg. Most underrated Knicks player of all time? I think we all did, John. Most underrated Knicks player. I don't know. I actually liked Willie Hernangomez. I did. Kylo Quinn wasn't that good. He played hard though. Or he wasn't good at all. He played hard though. Over the years. J.R. Smith, you think he's underrated though? I don't think J.R. Smith's underrated. Would you say Tyson Chandler's underrated? I don't know if you would call Tyson Chandler underrated, right? Actually, I'll say this. David Lee. Actually, that doesn't really count because he was old as hell. But I feel like Jason Kidd brought a lot of value, but he was really old. Like from a leadership standpoint. No, Jeremy Lin was not underrated. He got so much hype. Remember with Linsanity? I feel like when you're on the Knicks, you're not underrated because the spotlight's on you. I don't think there's such thing as an underrated Knick. I don't. When you're playing in New York, you can't be underrated. You're gonna get hyped up at some points. That actually might be a good one because I wasn't the biggest fan of Felton. My dad hated Felton. Grimes. Actually, no. I'm not gonna say he was the most underrated Knick, but someone I thought deserved more credit. I didn't think he was that bad. I actually thought Robin Lopez was a solid Knick. I didn't think, like, I'm not saying he's the most underrated ever, but I didn't think Robin Lopez was that bad. Tengus Pincus. Ugh. I didn't mind Robin Lopez. All right, now name all the European players the Knicks have had. Pablo, Medalskis Kuzminskis, Chris Jeffs, Willie Hernangomez. Yeah, exactly. It's one of the biggest sports markets. I didn't see Jamal Crawford, though. I was, like, really, really young. But, yeah, obviously, Jamal Crawford was a bucket wherever he went. I don't remember. I remember my dad always would be like, "You fat fuck, get off the court, you lazy ass motherfucker." No, he didn't say that in quote, but he just hated how lazy it was. I think I made a video on David Lee. Or no, I think it's not on my channel because it got copyright, which sucked. I like that video too. Steve Novak, that's a good answer. Dave Robinson. David Lee actually might be the answer. I think that's an extremely good answer, buzzer beater. Steve Novak. Novak for 3. Bang. I love Novak. Novak was a beast. What that? Oh yeah, 2015 team. Vildoza. Remember? Oh my. See, this is why our fan base is so special. Knicks fans were thinking Vildoza was the point guard of the future. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's a very good one, John. Wasn't he a member of the Thunder for like a second? Wilson Chandler. Is Tyson Chandler underrated? I don't know if Tyson Chandler's underrated. Probably not, because he won Defensive Player of the Year. Probably not Kenyon Martin. He was old. Tony Douglas. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Remember when Landry Fields was hyped up his rookie year? Everyone thought Landry Fields was going to be so good. All right, I'm going to read a couple more comments and then I'm going to head out. Felton was good before the Knicks traded him to the Nuggets. After he got fat, he started sucking. Who else got fat? I remember, was it before the Spurs or when he got to the Spurs? Boris Dio was fat with the Bobcats, I believe. I liked Iman Shumpert at one point was my favorite Knick. When he had that putback dunk in the Indiana series in the second round after the Chris Copeland miss, Shumpert became my favorite player after that. I just remember loving that dunk. I think we lost the game, but it was just that just got me hype. We'll see what happens with Quickly. Yeah, I don't know where he is. Yeah, Moutier, gosh, Moutier sucked. Falling down after every layup. Sheed Wallace, ball don't lie. Okay, it was like three-way trade. Ronaldo Bachman. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. I really appreciate everyone that tuned into the live stream. You guys are amazing. I'm glad you guys were able to vent, let out your emotions. We're able to talk about this. Hopefully, you guys sleep well tonight. Moutier or Peyton? Moutier. Actually, none. Boutier. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate the ones that have stuck with this channel. You guys are amazing. Smash the like button if you would like, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new for more Knicks content, NBA content. Probably gonna have like a NBA rookie ladder video up soon. But yeah, I'm not gonna have a video up Saturday though because I have work, so I'm not gonna be able to catch the Rockets game. Because I work Saturday and Sunday, so I won't be able to catch Knicks Rockets. Hopefully we win. If we don't even know what to say. That would feel suck. Oh my gosh, if we don't beat the Rockets, they have one win. But you guys, really appreciate your support. Have a great one, guys. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Yeah, man. Or yeah, guys, I appreciate your support. Great comments, great players you guys mentioned. Marty Collins, Jared Jeffries. All right, peace out, y'all.